Hello, listeners. My name is Charles Scott. Here we are with another edition of Can We Talk? We're here at the recording studio. I'm here with my son, Charles Jr.
I'll say Happy New Year to everybody. Thank you for continuing to view our great, I'll say like it's a podcast now, you know. We have plenty of episodes. You can go online, whether it's Facebook, TikTok, or YouTube. Just type in Tri-State Realty, Can We Talk? You can see the other episodes. We have a lot of good information in this podcast, I'll say.
Yes, we are now in the new year. It's 2025, and there's some changes that have occurred. Some of the things we want to talk about today is, Connecticut being recognized as one of the top states for real estate for people flowing into the country. I think it's the top, one of the top four in the Zillow for nationwide.
Top 10.
This
we
nationwide.
Got Waterbury at number 8. Then they had Bridgeport, I believe, was number 4. Then we had number 3 was what was it? Either Milford was Milford was the best one from coastal store, like coastal homes and stuff like that.
So
very impressive.
Yeah, that's impressive.
That's for the entire country. That's not just Connecticut. That's the entire United States. That's counting California, Florida, Arizona, all the other hot destinations, especially Texas. We beat out Texas, which is great. Texas was a high spot last year. But yeah, that's good. Fairfield County is on the come up.
And a lot of reasons for that being that the prices in the other areas, such as people are still coming in from New York, New Jersey. I was talking to people the other day, and what's happening is in New Jersey, the taxes are quite a lot.
Yes.
In New York City, the prices are way up there. So, Connecticut is really holding its own, and where we are is a good area because we're number 4.
We're great because we're right next to New York. The financial district. People coming in from New York are realizing Connecticut is a great place to live, and they can still be close to their businesses or their jobs out there in Manhattan, Bronx, and Brooklyn. Actually,
this helps, both sides. If you're looking to buy a property and you're coming in from outside of the area, then what's happening is that I had a lady call me today. She was from New York City. She was saying she can't afford anything up in that particular area up there. So if you're coming into this area, the prices are very, very reasonable. The taxes are, very, very reasonable. And it's also good for people that have been, wanting to sell. A lot of people have been holding up wanting to sell their properties. So it's, it's a good time to maximize.
It's a great time to sell, I say, because people call us and they say, well, I want to sell, but I got to go paint this room. I got to fix this up. I got to change this. I got to pave my driveway. I got to upgrade my bathroom. This still is an opportunity for sellers to sell as is. We see that a lot. As is, where is.
Yeah, that's a good thing we can talk about today, too, because you just hit on something. A lot of people call and they want to go and remodel their house in order to sell their house. You should not do that unless the house is really in disrepair and you're going to put minimum amount of money in it to fix it up. I tell people, you go and paint the house. They may not like the color you paint the house in. You put appliances in. You might put GE appliances, and they may hate GE appliances. You just spend all that money, and they like a different type of appliance. They have a color scheme. Maybe they want this color. There's still the new appliances. Everything went from white to black and stainless steel. Now you got the new appliances that come in red and blue and all kinds of colors.
Smart appliances, stuff like that.
Exactly, smart appliances. Or the people may bring their own appliances. So you're spending money that you really may not have to. That's why if you call us, we'll come in and we'll give you a consultation and tell you what the trend is. If you haven't sold a house for a long time and you don't know what the trends are, you could be leaving money on the table by spending more than you really should be spending.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But like I said, we get calls a lot of times where it's a couple, they've been living in their house for 20 years, maybe 25 years. They want to move back home. Maybe they're from a different country. Maybe they're from one of the islands, Barbados or Puerto Rico. And they realize, I've been in this house for 20 years. To them, it may feel like it's dated. To them, it may feel like a small little house. Not realizing people coming in from New York or from out of the state may view their house as a mansion. They have a backyard, a front yard. Down in the Bronx, they may not have a backyard or front yard. They may be on the 17th floor. So they look at this house as a great upgrade, whereas the people that have been in for 20 years, they've been in there so long, like, hey, this house is average to me. Not realizing they could have sold it as is, not even doing much upgrades.
And another thing is that people that are selling their homes, so I always ask people when we're going out on a listing appointment, where do you plan to go? That's very important to know where you're going to go or have your plan before you put your house on the market. I'm finding that in our, like, say my last 4 listings, the last one, the people are relocating to Florida. So and I'm finding a lot of retirees.
Yes.
You know, Connecticut is getting older and people are retiring. They're getting tired of the cold weather up here. So I'm finding that people are retiring and going south. Like I said, the last person, they're headed to Florida. Before that, the woman, she was going to North Carolina. And then the other person there, they were going to Virginia. So I find the trend is that people are selling their homes up in the north and going into the southern part of the United States for many reasons. Number one, the prices are less, and more land, and you still have the proximity of a big city if you want a big city. If you go to, Charlotte, North Carolina,
Charlotte,
you got
Orlando,
you've got Texas, Dallas. So you can live out in the suburbs and still have the big city right next door if you want to.
Plus, they don't realize these houses that you've been living in for 20 years, you got a lot of equity. You may think your house is worth one thing, but remember, you look at that Zillow estimate, everyone has a Zillow estimate, it's not showing the true value. Have us come do a CMA, which may cost you how much? What do you think? $0.
Oh, that much?
It's free. We'll do a CMA.
It doesn't cost
and
anything.
I'll say a CMA is a cost market analysis. It's more accurate because we're here every day. We look at the real estate news, we can look at the trends, and we can tell you how much your house is worth. And these people who are selling their houses here in Bridgeport, Fairfield County, Stratford, they were coming for a lot of cash going down south, and some are even building their own houses or buying houses down there. Prices are a lot different down south.
Right. Yeah, you just mentioned something. It seems like a lot of people right now, they've gotten hooked on the Zillow.
Oh, yeah.
When they go into the internet and they look up Zillow. Well, you can't use that as your guide for selling your house or for the value of your house, because what they do is they use algorithms. They'll take 1 million houses in the Northeast and they'll lump them into a pot, and then they'll just gauge them based on the square footage, the amount of bedrooms, how many bathrooms, and the style, and then they'll come up with a value for your house.
Correct.
Well, that's hard to do, because they don't know the neighborhood, they don't know how much, like you said, how much backyard,
They don't know if
front
you
yard.
replaced a roof less than a year ago. You have a new roof, adds value to the house. They don't know about the upgrades that may be in the house, whether you have extra bathrooms, jacuzzi in the back. So that's something that we would see in person to give you a good estimate of what the house is worth.
Well, the other thing too, they don't know is the supply and demand. They don't know maybe that neighborhood that you live in, people want to live there because they got the school system.
Yep.
Maybe you got medical facilities right up the street that people want to be near. As you get older, you're really concerned about health care. You don't want to be way out in the woods. Something happened, you have a illness or a sickness or a stroke, and now the hospital is 4 or 5 miles away. And,
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you don't drive anymore. Maybe you got rid of that car, so maybe you want to live next to the train station or to a downtown area. So Zillow doesn't take into consideration all of these different things. They just throw everything out there on the board and come up with a number for your house. So you can't go by that.
Say to our viewers who live near a hospital, whether it be in Bridgeport or any other city, you may think that living near a hospital is a detriment to your property. In this day and age, since post-COVID and the increased awareness of healthcare, houses near hospitals sell for a great premium because those houses are being bought by investors who may want to turn into a rooming house for nurses, or maybe it's a family that this feels
Or
more
college.
secure living near or college, for roommates. But yeah, those who are living near hospitals with a lot of traffic, you see that you might be right next to the emergency room. Ambulances coming by every day. Give us a call. We are specialized in those type of houses. We sold a couple last year, right next to the hospital.
Well, like I was just thinking here, if you have a house and the house is near a college, in the past people would always say, oh, you got all those college students, they're always making noise, all of the cars, oh, the house is worth less money, who wants to live next to the college, they're always throwing parties.
Exactly.
Well, just the opposite now, because
Very
the
opposite.
cost of living in a college dorm, that could be $20,000 a year
Exactly.
just to live there. So the parents find it's cheaper to buy a single family house and rent it out to the students. So therefore, the house is now worth, if you have a house near a college, a single family, and you put it on the market, it's gone just like that.
It's gone very quick.
Very quick, because
Very
people
quick.
are buying it, and then they'll put their students in there for 4 years or grad school. They may decide to just keep it and use it as an investment.
Or they can sell it and get all the money back. Imagine
back.
that. They're not getting that with the room and board at the college, paying for the dorm every
Oh,
year.
heck no.
At least they get a return on their investment.
Right, it's paying for let's put it this way, paying for college expenses in itself is enough.
Enough, let alone room and board.
So this way here, hey, you get your investment. You figure it this way. You're going to get, things go right. You get back all the money that you pay for the room and board. Then you get the appreciation on the property itself to help pay for the college education. And then you sell it after 4 years.
Yep.
So you get you get both worlds. So, that's another thing you may want to think about.
And I just want to also express, that's the unique thing about this city. You'll see in Bridgeport, we have a combination of a lot of colleges, hospitals. So give us a call. We were specialized in doing CMAs. We do about 10 CMAs a week. People are calling us constantly saying, what's my house worth? And it's not say we want to sell right now. Just it's good to know how much your house is worth for your own knowledge.
Yeah, speaking of the CMAs, it did like 2 today. One CMA, the gentleman wanted to know how much were the properties worth in a certain area in case he decided to buy some land and develop that area and figure out what could they be sold for.
Exactly.
So you want to do your homework ahead of time. And then the other thing is they had another person that wanted to know, they got a 3-family house and they wanted to know, what is the value of that 3-family house right now if they were to sell it. You have a lot of absentee landlords
A lot.
that bought a property and live out of state. And now, because they live out of state, they want to sell those properties. If you live out of state and you have tenants, in another state, with all the new laws and tenants laws, it gets increasingly difficult to manage these properties.
And also, not to interrupt you, but some of our customers that give us a call, they may have a multifamily, but it's been rented out for 20 plus years to the same tenants. They can't really increase the rents because it may be family members. It may be someone who they just can't touch that rent and they want to sell. They don't realize they can sell the house as is. You don't have to move out. You don't have to have things upgraded. We specialize in that too.
So there's many different options that you have. The main conversation here is that you need a person that can specialize, and all real estate is local.
All local.
You need someone local. It amazes me where they go get a real estate agent 50 miles away, 60 miles away, who does not know the area, does not know the streets, the school system, the politics. Politics has a lot to do with real estate values.
Yes.
If you want to go fix something up, you need to get a permit. What's the permitting process in that town that you're in? Developers come in, the first thing they want to know is what's going on with the politics in the city.
Exactly.
What will the people allow? What won't they allow? You want to go spend a lot of money for a building and then find out you're going to run into a lot of resistance because people don't want this in that area or this in that area. And even though the law may permit it, you still run into opposition where people object, There's a lot of things going on in the real estate industry right now, especially, with the rental. The rents are going up. There's a resistance, there's change, and then there's also the new cost for the new person coming in and buying. So you need to know, what you're doing. I tell people, you can come into real estate and you can make money or you can lose money. You have to know, you got to do your homework, and you have to use professionals to analyze everything before you just jump in.
And also I want to say, you see the news about the interest rates. I'll say don't let the interest rate be the determining factor when you join, your house journey, because you realize these interest rates have been kind of stable the last couple of years. As far as we're 5 is the new 3. You see, people are waiting for things to go back to 3%. But I heard this analogy. It may not happen, yeah. But I heard an analogy. Someone said, "Yeah, we're waiting for 3%, But that's like someone saying, "I'm waiting for the party to start." But remember, if that party's going to start, you're going to be waiting in line with everybody else. Versus now, interest rates may be 6 or 7, but you actually have an advantage because a lot of these houses is becoming a little bit of a buyer's market with these higher interest rates. So I would say get in when you can. People always say, when is the right time to buy real estate? When you're ready, when it fits your situation and what you want to do with your family and your future.
And I'm going to make a prediction that, you know, do not expect interest rates to change for at least a couple of years.
Yes.
Do not, in other words, do not make that your determining factor in, you know, really buying. Look at all the angles. Interest rates are going to be held where they are right now for at least a couple of years.
Yes.
Or who knows, maybe even longer. So that's you know.
But what's the alternative? When they do go down, the prices are going to
Prices
go
are
up.
gonna shoot up.
Because think about how many people are waiting on the sideline to jump into the game. When that goes down, they're all going to run to the court, try to get the ball, and they're all going to be fighting over the same house because inventory still may be low at that point.
They were trying to get inflation down to 2%. I think it's around 2.7 now. And it doesn't look good that inflation's going to just drop just like that. You know, the last jobs report that came out said that people are getting hired in droves. So there's going to be a lot of money still flowing into the economy. I mean, look at Christmas. The malls were packed with people spending money like crazy. So money is out there, money's flowing. As long as people are willing to spend money, merchants are willing to go up on their prices.
Exactly.
They don't have to give sales.
Exactly. They have a reason.
They don't have to reduce their prices as long as you're willing to pay.
You gave that analogy a couple episodes last year about how the store owner, he doesn't have to reduce his prices because people are still coming in. Why would he? Why need a sale when the doors are coming in? People are flooding in.
Flooding in the door. I remember years ago, going back about a couple years ago, the big craze was couponing. Everybody was couponing. You could go to people's houses and they were getting the coupons, and they were like buy one get one free. And you'd go into some of the people, they turned it into a side business.
Oh, yeah.
You go into the basement, you'd have grocery stores down there. People were clipping coupons. People were even selling coupons to each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
And recently I talked to a person, I says, hey, what happened to all the coupons?
Where all coupons go?
What happened? You used to have all bags full of coupons. And they said, oh, that's about gone. I said, why? People don't, the stores don't have to draw you in by giving you sales anymore. They don't have.
It's like we know you're going to come anyway.
There used to be newspapers. On a Sunday, you get a whole newspaper, and it'd be 10 pages of coupons. They just clip coupons. Well, the stores figured it out. They said, why are we giving everybody coupons when they're coming anyway? We don't have to bring them in anymore. We don't have to give any sales anymore because people are willing to spend the money. And that's what creates the inflation.
Exactly.
Because the prices stay high without having to reduce the prices to bring the people in. So you don't see all these coupon sales. You look at a newspaper now, it used to be 10% news and 30% coupons.
Yeah,
now it's 10% news, and the newspapers are all going out of business.
You rarely see coupons anymore, but I'll say one thing that is still in effect 2025 that has been in effect since 2022 is the Time to Own program. That's something that we've talked about a couple episodes ago, and we've helped about over a dozen people get into homes where it's a program for Connecticut residents that assists you with your down payment and your closing costs. And like we say, it's real money. It's a real program that we're actually experts at. Give us a call if you want more information.
That's true, and that's free money. We just closed one a couple weeks ago.
Yep, right in Waterbury.
Right there in
Naugatuck, I would say borderline.
Oh yeah, that was in Naugatuck.
Yep.
Borderline of Naugatuck and Waterbury. The woman got $25,000 to help her buy a house.
Yep.
Just did another one here in in Fairfield County. She bought a condo.
Oh yeah.
She bought a condo. Her and her son bought a condo, and they got $25,000 from the state of Connecticut to help them, buy it. Now that helps two ways. Why? Number one, you don't have to save as much money to buy a house.
Yes.
Because this $25,000 they will give you once you find a house, and at the closing they'll send the money to the attorney to use for you to purchase the property. So you don't have to save as much money. That means you don't have to save as much money to pay for your appraisal, for the insurance on the house. They'll take care of that. They'll use some of it for the down payment. They'll even use the money to pay the attorney and also to put down on the house, and to pay the fee to the bank.
And the way it works is if you stay in the house for 10 years, they forgive the loan. Forgive it's like grant money. Yeah.
Right. Well, here's even the better part. If you stay in the house for 10 years, you don't have to pay any of the money back. But every year you stay there, they reduce it by 10%. But here's where it even gets sweeter. That $25,000 that they give you, you don't make any monthly mortgage payment towards that money.
That's the great thing about it.
So think about it. If you're buying a house for, let's say, $250,000, then your mortgage payment is based on $250,000. If they give you another $25,000, now you've actually borrowed not borrowed, but the $25,000 they give you is you don't have to pay. So you got $275,000 on the table, but your mortgage is still based only on $250 because you don't make any payments towards that $25,000. And then after 10 years, it's gone. And you could sell the house, and all the money that was put there and all of the extra value in the house, whatever you get to keep it all.
Very true. The thing is about this program is, unfortunately, it's real money, which means it's not infinite. This program does run out of money sometimes. So we tell people to give us a call as soon as possible. Even if you're not ready to buy a house, give us a call because we work with people. We had that woman actually close the one in Naugatuck. We worked with her for over a year. She was looking at multiple houses.
She was looking at houses for over a year. One of the reasons why it took so long is because she was saving up money as she was going to go towards the down payment. She was saving up money as she was going to help with the closing costs. But now the state came in with the $25,000, so therefore things went rapidly because she had the money to buy, she had the money for the closing costs, so she was able to buy the house. If she was without that money, she probably would still be saving and as she's saving, remember what's happening.
I was gonna say,
prices are going up.
Prices are going up just as, what was that article we mentioned in another episode where you just sit there, your house is making more money than you than on the job. The houses are getting a lot of equity each year, going up and up and up. And you can't really save as quickly as the house is getting equity. So take advantage of these programs, especially Time to Own. Time to Own is a very, very unique program here for Connecticut residents.
And there's money still in that particular program.
Yes.
And I would assume another prediction that I'll make is that they will put more money into programs like that because they want to create home ownership. They want to make it so that people have a place to live.
Yes.
You know, who motivates people getting elected? The citizens. When citizens vote, people get elected. The governor gets elected. The state legislature gets elected.
Exactly.
Right now, there's a big issue with housing, affordable housing. So therefore, there's a lot of pressure on the legislators. There's a lot of pressure on the Congress to provide housing for people. People are screaming out that they need housing. So therefore, money will be put into these programs to create housing for people. Because when you have people owning their own houses, it creates a more stable neighborhood. It creates people that stay and put. It helps people that go on the school board to help with their school systems. It creates tax money to pay your policemen, your firemen, your school teachers, your public works, to clean up your streets, to pave your streets. So therefore, especially in Connecticut, a large part of your public services and your taxes and your upkeep of your cities is dependent on property taxes.
Yes.
So therefore, the more property owners you have, the better the environment, the better neighborhood quality of life for your city. So it's behooving upon your politicians and your cities to create home ownership for the good of all people.
And I must say, we have clients who call us from 2014 and 15 who say, well, they say, Mr. Scott, if I didn't buy this house, I would be renting in this environment. Rents, as you can see, rents have gone up. Everyone has seen rents go up. Actually, that's when we get a lot of our calls, the first and second of the month. Their good landlord is selling the house, or their good landlord is going up on the rent. And that's causing them to say, wow, I should just buy a house. But now I realize we've been saying this for 15 years. Remember, interest rates were 2% in 2010 and 2011. But yeah, we get thank you calls every day.
Oh, constantly.
From people from 10, 12 years ago, not realizing.
15 years ago.
15 years ago, the equity they've, and how about this? The clients who are calling us from 2010, 11 who want to sell now realize that at this point, all that money they paid into this house, they're getting it right back.
All that.
Are you getting that back from your landlord?
No.
100% interest when it comes to that.
We get calls every week from people that I sold homes to 15 years ago. I remember I've been in business 40 years,
Yes.
20 years ago. So you can imagine, some people don't even have a mortgage anymore. So you got to realize that these people that bought all of these homes, and again, talking about, why are we here? Why are we giving you this information right here? We didn't just come on the block. We've been around for a while, Like I said, I started in 1985 in real estate. I've been a broker
This is the 40th year.
since 1987. I immediately, when I got my real estate license, within 2 years, I got my brokers and went into business on my own. I didn't work for anybody. I've been in my own business now since 1987. Way back before there was any Zillow. There was no
What was the
there was
interest rate
no
back then?
internet. Oh, so the interest rate was low, but so were the prices. But I started in real estate when every week we would get a book, and the book would have a picture of all of the houses that were for sale.
Yep.
And the funny thing was, by the time you get to half the houses, they were all sold. Because the book only,
about that?
because the book only came out once a week.
Exactly.
So you try to rush to the house and hopefully get there before the house was sold. And things were just completely changed back then.
Very true.
And you go out to the houses were selling maybe for like $45,000, $60,000.
Excuse me.
So
Very true.
things were completely changed back then. So now you can imagine all the experience and all the things I've seen. I've seen the ups and the downs and the ups and the downs and everything that's happened. No matter how many ups and downs we have had, everything in the end always became an up, because over time the values go up and up. It's like walking up a step. You go up, down, but you're always constantly going up. So if you're looking to purchase, if you're looking to sell, give us a call. You got our experience.
The number's right there.
There's a number right there. You can call me. You can call my son. We have been around for a while. We're experienced. I know the market. I serve on a lot of committees. I've been past president of the boards in the cities that I serve in. I serve on the city boards, the national boards, the Connecticut Association of Realtors. So you get the experience, and we're not Zillow, but we're local, and like our motto is come live
Feel
with
at
us,
home
feel at home with us. It's like family, our family that we hold tight.
Exactly.
So again, hopefully we've been able to give you a lot of information. Coming this year, we anticipate great things. So call Tri-State Realty, call myself, or call my son.
Exactly. Call for a free CMA also.
Until next week, God bless.
Amen.